Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the studio. I'm Matt Coleman. We're getting into the tail end of this portfolio here that I've been going through for my first set of videos where I'm pulling out my old work and revisiting it, and everything that I'm pulling out is going up for sale on my Etsy store, and all that's anything that I make off of that is going to go towards mainly buying a printing press so I can make relief prints again. Yeah, let's get to it and get through this portfolio so we can move on to some of the other ones. Yeah, this is a drawing of my friend John, and this is up on a roof in Albuquerque, and there was like a lightning storm. If you've ever been to Albuquerque, it's like a huge valley, and we lived way on the east side by the Sandia Mountains, and so if there was like some kind of weather going on, you could see it from a really long ways away if it was to the west. And there's another version of it right here in front of me. Let's get these both out at the same time, side by side. This one I put the lightning bolts in. This one just had him sitting in this tree branch thing. Don't really have a lot to say about them in specific. They're kind of clunky brushwork in my opinion. They're studies, you know. Apparently I was really interested in trying to get it right. I think I did have some other version of it that actually came out. Yeah, this one came out pretty good. This one here, that one looks pretty good. I think I actually used charcoal on this. This might be the very last drawing I ever used charcoal on. That's such an academic thing to use, charcoal. But this one came out pretty decently. I can see I really worked this a lot. Like if you look up close on this, it's like there's some really deep color in there that I just like buried under stuff. Apparently this was also a monoprint originally too. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, not a whole lot of story to it. We were just sitting on a rooftop. I think they knew I was there. I don't think I was being too sneaky. But yeah, they were just sitting watching a lightning storm, and I thought it was an interesting scene, so I just grabbed my sketchbook and got to work. Got these 3 versions of it that came out of it. What is this? Oh my lord. Oh, here's we'll keep it thematic and we'll stick with the ones that are from this kind of earlier era first, and then we'll get to these weird things that I just found down there. I do not know who this is. I think it might be in the basement of the tap room. I'm only saying that because it's got all these lines behind him, and they have this little like kind of cubby that bands would play in, and there was like tin like foil streamers hanging down behind it. That's a pretty nice painting. No clue who the band is or who this dude is, but I hung out and sketched him and captured this. Yeah, I really like that hand. Check that out. I got my chops, man. I always think it's important to learn how to do like classical, realistic drawing and things before you move on to trying to do weird stuff. I've seen people just try to jump straight to the weird stuff. It's usually falls kind of flat. This is kind of interesting. These are couple little warm-up versions of the larger version that I showed a couple videos back at this point. This is just some, here I'll do one at a time, these are kind of big. These are just some cups on the countertop at George Webb on Farwell. Kind of mentioned before, George Webb on Farwell was the nutty one. I'd been to other George Webbs at that time. This would have been done like, 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. And went to other George Webbs. They were not crazy. This was where all the crazy people hung out. And we would sit there until like 2, 3 in the morning, drinking endless cups of coffee and just drawing in our sketchbooks. Yeah, these are just kind of rudimentary versions of this drawing that I did. I should try to pull out the original sketch, because the reason that I did so many versions of this was I really liked the original sketch from my sketchbook. And I don't know that any of them actually lived up to it, because I did a lot of stuff in oil pastel at the time, and so you just get this really heavy layering, and trying to go at it in watercolor like I am here, you're never going to get the just sort of raw materiality that like layers of oil pastel is going to give you. And I guess that's one thing I learned by doing those. Yeah, these are weird prints. Alright, I'm trying to figure out how to even like talk about these. So this is a photographic lithography print. I guess I should preface that I had to use photolitho, so I was just trying to come up with an image to do that with. And at the time, I had for some reason started doing all these weird kind of cartoonish animal creatures, and for some reason I drew them in a party scene. I actually did some like kind of fun, I think they were just black and white litho prints, and they were bigger. On this same theme, they came out like kind of interesting, but it was because I had drawn the entire thing that it was interesting. But having these guys inserted into this, it's just kind of absurd. I don't know, this is such a bizarre print. Get a good long, I don't know. Really not a whole lot to say about it. It's just like grabbing things off of the internet. This was like a composite of a bunch of people that I found standing around. There's this dude in like the Speedo over there. And these guys are hanging out at the party. Yeah. And one thing, it's like I have like 8 of these. Okay, This one's weird too. This one I can remember a little bit more about. Now that's coming back to me that I saw this one. I had this sketch. I was thinking about like, people are animals. We're mammals. We're animals that have developed a higher mental and speech capacities than other animals, but we have a lot of animal instincts and impulses. And so I just did like these weird little cartoons of like animals filling in for people, or like kind of flip-flopping, where I did a sketch where there was people laying out in the sun to warm up, and like the lizards went inside and started like doing the work for the humans. I don't know, it was a dumb idea. Not saying it was a good idea or anything, but I guess I just needed something to make in this litho class. This is another photo litho, I think. I mean, judging by that blue, I didn't draw that. So you'd be using photographic processes to get these plates, which is kind of ridiculous. It means I spent like $50 making this image. Like, Jesus. I don't know, what do you think? Is this ridiculous, or do you like it? I guess I do like that it's kind of just whimsical and lighthearted, and it's not really like trying too hard to be serious. It's not a serious piece. It's meant to be a bizarre piece. I don't know, who am I to judge? I guess it's just like, I I made it and now I have to answer for it and I can't answer for it, and that makes it kind of embarrassing. Yeah, again, I have way too many of these. Why do I have so many of these? Printmakers, when you're in undergrad, make editions of like 4. You're not going to need any more than that. So, that is the end of this portfolio. We made it to the end. Thanks for sticking with me this far. It's been a lot of fun digging into this, and this is a very small fraction of the work that I have around here. So there's going to be plenty more videos coming. Check back. Get at me on Twitter if you got any questions about these bizarre things that I've made. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Summit Studios, MKE. All this work's going on my Etsy store. Be sure to stop by there sometime, see what's going on there. And yeah, check back to the channel. See you next time.